Well, good morning. Welcome to Unity of Port Townsend. Spirituality with open hearts and open minds. So it looks like a number of us are on a cruise this morning. But for those of us in the ship of Unity in the Unity Spiritual Enrichment Center, hold on to the rail because we're going to have an exciting day today. We're going to explore the subject of sound. And so I'll talk about that in a moment before we kick into the service.
Oh, I love it already.
So I think maybe we probably ought to start out by, let's light the candle first, okay? And this represents the Christ light in each one of us. It's already lit within you. The question is, how much do we let it out? Come light, light of God, give light to creation, enlighten our hearts, and remain with your word. Come light, light of God, give light to creation, enlighten our hearts, and remain with your word. So I'm going to do a little Unity recap here, just because I can. So as you recall, Unity is founded on 5 principles. The first one is one power and one presence in all of the universe. We call it the God. You can call it by any name that you choose to call that universal presence of creation. And that presence dwells in all things. It dwells in us and all of the rest of creation. So we are part of and influenced by and operate within that energy. The creative power of our thoughts create our world. How we are from the inside pictures how it looks on the outside. So as you think about putting on your spiritual glasses and seeing through the Christ, that nature of us that's universal, the world changes. It looks differently. And things happen to us differently, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. And the power of prayer, meditation, uplifts and transforms. We co-create with Spirit, with God. When we get into that alignment, all things are possible. And finally, we are here to be a light for ourselves and for the world. We are eternal spiritual beings having a human experience for a divine reason. That's pretty important. And that's a tough thing for us all to remember all the time. I can do it sometimes on Sunday mornings, and sometimes when I'm walking out in the woods, and sometimes when I'm on the water, and sometimes. But when I'm in the thick of things, it's hard to remember. And yet, it's in the thick of things when we finally get to our knees and say, okay, I can't do it myself. The universe goes, and comes in and supports us and helps transform whatever's going on. Be it you're out of sync with peace, you're out of healthy, whatever the circumstance might be, is when we finally let go of ourself, the small s, and join with the big S, that things really happen. So with that, let's do our opening song, huh? Should we stand for this thing? We have this thing here that came down this morning just a little bit ago, Zeal. So whatever song we're going to do, let's do it with Zeal, huh? Okay. Thanks, Glenn.
And we'll do each verse twice. The verses are very short, so each one twice. Pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart, into my heart. One
Spirit. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Into my heart. Wonderful Spirit.
Joy.
Pour your joy in me. Pour your joy into my heart. Into my heart. Wonderful Spirit. Pour your joy in me. Pour your joy into my heart. Into my heart. Wonderful Spirit. Pour your love in me. Pour your love into my heart. Into my heart. Wonderful Spirit. Pour your love in me. Pour your love into my heart. Into my heart. Wonderful Spirit. Shine your light in me. Shine your light into my heart. Into my heart. Wonderful Spirit. Shine your light in me. Shine your light into my heart. Into my heart. Wonderful Spirit.
So now I'll turn it over to David and let him know. So today we're going to talk about this fascinating subject about sound and vibration. And Niobe Weaver's here with us today, both this morning and then following in a workshop. She does a sound bath workshop, I guess. So, it's a crystal bowl sound bath. And it's all about vibrational energy. So the quantum physics say that we are all just an energy source. Deepak Chopra says it this way, he says we are energy and information. So this is just energy at a very low vibration. And the information that it contains keeps it in that vibration. Everything's energy. Everything has a vibrational force to it. Our interconnectedness with all of the universe is due to our vibrations itself. As we are out here in the manifest world, how we navigate and feel and experience has a whole lot to do with this whole force that we're not even seeing, and this vibrational force. And I was trying to figure out how to explain it, and I think the best way is to think about water. If water gets really cold, it gets really hard. The vibrations slow down. If we add energy to it, it turns into steam. And then it becomes virtually invisible. And yet it's still water. And it'll remanifest and reconstitute depending on the energy level that it's at. And that has to do with other energies, either ones that are cooling or heating, to cooperate with this thing we call water and to make it change form. So that's kind of the mechanics behind all this stuff. Now the ancients knew this and studied this long before we ever had the science to catch up with it. As we find out almost daily that the science is catching up with what the ancients really knew and from an intuitive standpoint. So all matter is made up of this vibration. And we emit a vibration all the time. And we receive that vibration all the time. You ever walked into a place and said, wow, this has got a really cool vibe? Or that person had a really good vibe? Well, that's our energy aligning with this other person or this place's energy. Now, you may think that's kind of silly. But in reality, that's exactly how it works. It's kind of how we have the sixth sense, that we know, that we can intuit things, because we pick up this information all the time that's around us. So specific energies do certain things. In the Vedic tradition, in the Judaic Bible, it talks about the Word became flesh. Both vibrational energies, by the way. But this whole idea of having sound and the singing of sound, the harmonies of sound, those kinds of things as being an energetic force that can help us heal our bodies, heal our emotions, get in tune with a higher reality. All those kinds of things are part of this whole vibrational discussion and what things like the singing bowls and chants do for us internally. Last night we had this concert, this One World Fusion concert, which was amazing. One of the things we learned is that there was this instrument, and a sadar, I think it's called, or something like that. It had 25 or 27 strings? 25 strings. Right, and some of them were stacked on top of each other, so you couldn't really play them. They did kind of play themselves. Anyway, this thing, and I'll call it a thing because you have to see it to believe it. It was up that big, and I play guitar once in a while, so I only deal with 6 strings, and that's way more than I can handle, quite frankly. Anyway, I found out that in the Indian, that's an Indian from India instrument. And it was really influenced by the Chinese, because they had this thing called tung yang that they played, that this person played when he was starting out his songs. Tung yang is tuning. He had the tuning this thing every single song. And what was happening was that the way that the instrument was created, you need to tune it just all the time. Once it was tuned, however, they added 4 other instruments that were completely different. 2 strings, 1 reed, and 1 percussion. And the harmonies that this thing created was beyond belief. It was just magical. And that's what we're espoused to do, is to tune our vibration with what's going on out here, and then raise our vibration up so we can understand what's going on up there. My watch? Okay. Okay, well, okay. So anyway, if you ever get a chance to take a look at the different vibrational levels for different kinds of things, Om is 432, I think that's the vibration of Om. So when we go to some place and we're doing an Om to start out with, that is getting in tune with the vibrational energy of the universe. So then there's higher and lower vibrations. Healing occurs at one level. Our cells need certain kinds of vibrations to be normal and healthy. And all those kinds of things are available to us to explore and to learn about. And that's what we're going to do, I think, this morning, is to find out a little bit more about this from somebody that knows more than I do. But what's interesting is that we have the ability not only to cognize it, to understand it, but we have the ability to be able to feel it. And then we can express those feelings and how we do that. So I know a number of people that have done sound healings. A guy named Tweeter, I can't think of his first name. He was a musician that played with I went off script. play with the lady, Julia Cameron wrote the Artist's Way. Remember that? Well, Teresa and I went to a workshop, and this guy named, I can't think of his, which one? Timothy Weeder. Timothy Weeder was working on a motorcycle, and we took the battery out, and somehow he ended up swallowing battery acid. Yes. Fried his vocal cords. He was in the hospital, fried his throat too. He was in the hospital, and he was just laying there, and he couldn't talk because he couldn't make anything work. And he started thinking of notes. Thinking of notes. And then pretty soon he could kind of eke something. And when we were in this workshop with him, he took us through a process where we hummed the same notes, followed him humming. And we could put our hum on the end of our toe, or we could put our hum on the edge of our ear. And it was all sorts of different hummings. And what he was explaining is that when we have an ailment or have some kind of physicality that we're trying to deal with, or an emotional thing we can deal with, we can use the power of sound to break through whatever blockages may be in there. It was very fascinating, and the guy's a wonderful singer now, but he healed himself. The doctors, it's one of those miracles that come along. But it's also a demonstration of spirit, because all of this is spirit. Which leads me into, we're in trouble. They gave me the small print version of this thing. All the large print versions are gone. I think that's a sign of who we are here at this point in time for me. But today's daily word is joy. I feel joyously as I celebrate life. And certainly life includes all of the manifest world and all of the unmanifest. Each new day is a treasure filled with life's gems found in even the most ordinary moments. Joy fills my heart when I pause to notice the wonder that surrounds me. I let my gaze linger as I watch the setting sun, or close my eyes as I savor the sweetness of fresh fruit. Beneath the night sky, I breathe deeply and partake in the fresh, clean air. The beauty of the world pales in comparison to the beauty within me and within you. I am so deeply and wondrously blessed to know my oneness with God and with all that is. There is no greater joy. I wake and praise each new day and feel fully alive, newly alive. I go out into the world to share the joy of being a child of God in an abundant universe. I spread light and love to everyone I meet, trusting that they will know the joy of God as I do. And the psalmist puts it this way: for you, O God, have made me glad by your work. At the works of your hands, I sing for joy. I feel joyous as I celebrate life. And now I'll invite Naomi to lead us in meditation.
All right. Thank you, David. Good morning. You know that what you were saying about what happened with his throat, if you join me afterwards, we are going to go into that power of that healing sound that we are. We are it all the time. We are this wonderful melody that is sounding out into the world every day. And the power of our voice, it can build and it can heal. And I had this many years ago, but you know, the metal threshold on a door, well, I had a thongs on, and as I stepped up, it got caught on that metal threshold, and there was a piece sticking up, and it cut the bottom of my toe. So here I am in the emergency room, And they're getting ready to, anesthetize it to kind of clean it up and everything. I said, wait just a minute. I closed my eyes, and I took my sound and I took my tone down into my toe, and I didn't feel it at all. So we are incredibly powerful beings that are made in the image of the beloved. So this is my heart bowl. We're going to come into our hearts in this meditation. So just take a nice deep breath in. Bring yourself present into your body. Feel your toes. And wiggle your fingers. Relax your face. Feel the crown of your head. And the root, what you're sitting on. And come into the presence of your heart. Middle of a heartbeat. Middle of a heartbeat. Middle of a heartbeat. I feel your rhythm. Middle of a heartbeat. I hear your sound. Middle of a heartbeat. I feel your rhythm. Middle of a heartbeat. I hear your sound. Oh, oh, eh, oh, eh, oh, 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 eh, oh, eh, oh, ah. Coming into your heartbeat. Into and in between each sound, the beat of our hearts make. It is our precious heart relationship that is a part of us being alive and walking in our everyday moment. It feels, it sees, it knows, and it hears. Take a gentle breath in through your nose and release it with a sigh. Just place your hand on your heart. Again, breathe in through your nose and release out through your mouth. Connect with how that feels. How did that feel as you felt your breath and your heart and your voice connect? Let's do that one more time in and out. We're just going to stay there for just a few moments with the bowl. Bringing up with your nice breath into your heart and out. I am. Breathing in again. I am love. As you open your eyes and bring yourself into this sacred space as we go into talking about our evolving heart. Okay. So good morning. How was that? Are we present here and now? Also, thank you so much for your, did I go in the wrong space?
We had a song right in between you.
Oh, we did.
Yes.
I'm so excited, and I got so into the bowls.
We could have switched
You
it
see
around.
where I went.
These guys are ready to go.
Thank you.
I've a cottage in God's garden upon a mountain high, away from strife and turmoil, where the Spirit in me thrives. Away from care and sorrow, a joyous seed I sow, a cottage in God's garden, where I am free to go. I've a cottage in God's garden, where my tired feet may rest, and weary though my body be, the spirit there is blessed. I plant my feet in the stillness, and I reach out for the light. I grow with each act of kindness on that mountain high. I've a cottage in God's garden, where my tired mind may rest, and weary though my body be, the spirit there is blessed. The spirit there is blessed. My spirit there is blessed.
Thank you so much. That was absolutely perfect. So, all right. I've been here before, and with being able to be here with Pam as she was speaking, but as I was knowing I was going to be here today, musicians-wise, I was hoping it was going to be you too. Thank you. So, all right, let's wake up here. Here we go. Okay. Our hearts and walking in God's garden. I mean, your intro of coming into this moment that we're in today is in absolute perfect divine order. Why did I choose about the evolving heart and walking in God's garden? Because this is our relationship from the time we are in utero. The heart is the first organ that comes into being. And that beating vibration, I mean, we go in for an ultrasound. What do we can't? We can hardly wait to hear that, of that heartbeat. And then when that beautiful new being child, spirit is in our arms. We're in this wonder. And then we also, I don't know maybe, but you hear their little heartbeat. So this being the first vibration, this is the first vibration of our beingness. That 4 chambers going back and forth. And then as we come into this world, they come into this lub-dub, lub-dub. You've gone and had an echocardiogram, an echo done where you can hear your heart or they can see the heart. And then when you hear it with, you put on the stethoscope and you hear it, it's a lub-dub, lub-dub. It's a rhythm. It's a rhythm. And then when we get really excited or we get really nervous, that heart just can go off. Then there's those of us, that have an irregular heartbeat or have an issue with our heart where it just takes off on its own. And it's really scary because how are you going to slow it down? So what is this relationship with our heart? And why did I call it walking in the garden of God? Is because for me, to me, our heart is that first divine connection to all that is, what we know of and speak of in many ways and languages of God, Father, Mother, God, of Spirit. It's a relationship that starts from that moment in utero. And that lub-dub, that whoosh, 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 comes into lub-dub, lub-dub. And it already starts speaking to us when we are born, come out into experience, into vibration, into this vibrational world that is overstimulating. It's just, wow, here I am. What's happening here? And, little things can startle us, still does startle us. So relationship, coming into that relationship, it moves our lives. Think about that. It moves our lives. When we come into a place of realizing what is my heart's desire. We talk about our heart's desire. We talk about, my heart just called me to it. Or when we meet our partners, when we meet the love of our life, or when we have that falling in love, that heart connection happens. There is the eyes that connect. Then the whole, oh my goodness, our whole energy field just whoosh, just flares up with all kinds of colors. It's like, oh my, look at you. Oh, look at you. Who are you? And then our heart starts to get a pitter, patter, pitter, patter. It's what Thumper would say. Thumper got Twitter-pated. Thumper was Twitter-pated. I love Thumper. When it comes to Bambi, it's Thumper for me. Being Twitter-pated. There's all kinds of things. What I'm looking at sharing today is just having a deepening of awareness of your connection with your heart. That this heart center is this relationship, this movement back and forth. That it comes in here with God. That it gives us an invitation into walking into a garden of experience of what we are creating. It's a co-creation. What are we creating? What am I creating today? I have a whiteboard that I look at all today. It says, what am I creating? Am I creating from from my thoughts, my brain? Am I creating from there? What I think it's supposed to be? Or am I creating from my heart's desires? What do I want to just even today? How can I create my day today in my heart's desires? If I come from that place of living from my heart and listening to it, even in the midst of incredibly challenging times. I come back, says, with that, it's like Myrtle Fillmore said, how to let God help you. It is up to you to accept your God-given perfection for yourself. Put aside the past mistakes and untrue suggestions and fix your undivided attention upon the creator of your inner pattern of perfection. This is the secret of success in all spiritual treatments. You must bring all of your mental attitudes, the centers of your consciousness, and even your physical structures to this high place in divine mind where you see as God sees. When we are in heart presence, we see as God sees. It speaks to us, it has that vibration, and it communicates. It communicates to our mind. It communicates to our whole body. When we see something in nature, when we do see a child, it communicates divinity of perfection. Because we look at a child, we look at a baby, and it's like, look at that divine perfection. And then as we grow, our childhood, our teen years, into our young adult, and throughout our lives, do we forget about our perfection? Do we forget that there is perfection there? Because is it just being washed over with experiences of negativity or just negative experiences of somebody saying, why are you wearing that? What'd you do with your hair? And how kids can be really, really, they're really tough, when they're little and all. What about, your shoes? Why don't you have an iPhone? That's what our young people, that's what our teenagers have today. But it's because we come into that forgetfulness. We aren't into a mindfulness. We come into forgetting who we are as we experience this place we are on this planet, in this experience. It is a dual experience of beautiful light and of what a lot of people don't want to talk about, and of shadow. Some people don't want to call it darkness, but there is shadow. Sunlight causes, there's shadow. We have our shadow. And we deal with that when we are in this type of experience of this world. Who knows what other kinds of worlds we have that aren't experiencing this. But we chose to come into this and have this experience of shadow and light. Losing my mindfulness, letting go and coming into a place where I'm allowing words and other things, other people, other experiences to come into my heart and to kind of smush it, tamp it down, walk all over it, break it. We all have a broken heart. I recently posted on Facebook, we have things that happen, and I'm quite present on Facebook because I also work with people online. And I just had to let people know, it's like, I couldn't understand what was happening. I was, all of a sudden, I would just easily, something would break me down into tears. I'm like, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. And then it finally came to me. And so there's just a relationship with a beloved heart, soul of mine that has had a collision. And I realized I have a broken heart. My heart's been broken. Now, coming into that awareness, into that owningness of, you know what, that interaction with this person that I deeply love and we respect each other so much, and I know they love me, and they know I love them, but still our humanness collided, and in the process of what they felt they needed to say in their presence, hurt me deeply, and it broke my heart. Then it's up to me, all right, my heart's broken. And then it's up to me to say, wait a minute here. So that's what it is. This is this human experience I'm having. That person knows I love them. They know that I know that they love me. It will find its way. It will find its way. But for right now, I need to tend to this. Right now, I take care of this. Right now, I take care of my love dub that has felt literal physical pain when you get your heart broken. But I know how to take care of it because I have my unity principles, because I have my consciousness principles, because I know that I can come into meditation and I can send light into every cell of my being. I can send light into every cell of my heart and take that lower vibration that in my own way I've created. Haven't I created it? When we also make a choice to have a broken heart, it is our creation as well, not just what we have perceived from someone else. I have allowed to say, I'm hurt. So but coming into that place of filling it with light and sending and knowing the love that is still there, it shifted. It has shifted the broken heart feeling. It's actually brought me out of it. It's brought me out of saying, the feeling that walks with that when we have something going on in broken heart. Our feelings are hurt or something's not going right. We have the power to be able to come within ourselves, fill it with light, and fill that, and light fills up the consciousness and it reflects on what the truth is. What is the truth that's really going on here? What's really happening? And can I let it go? Do I want to let it go? But I let it go. And I let it go with love. And then be kind with myself into a place of healing it. Because in truth, I am whole. That love dub of my heart vibration in that garden of God is always present in there until I leave this body. Charles Fillmore, the heart is love, the affectional consciousness in man. It is the faculty through which man receives love from being. The heart, however, is but the visible expression of an invisible center of consciousness. It is the center from which the divine substance is poured forth. Everyone uses his heart center when he sends forth a loving thought. Heart good and evil. The heart of the unregenerate man is both good and evil. But the evil is without foundation in being and has no sustaining power outside man's belief in its reality. When the heart is purged of all thoughts adverse to good, man consciously contacts the underlying God substance and spirit. God is as the moving force in the universe, principle as the breath of life in all creation, the principle of life, creative intelligence, and life. But back here it says when the heart is purged of all thoughts adverse to good. That's where I went. That's where we can all go. We can come into that place of, wait a minute here. And I call it bringing in the light in every cell of being. And I purged those thoughts of that form of consciousness. And it's made a shift in everything. I'm not walking with that broken heart anymore. But also what was surprising to me is how quickly it shifted. Because I could have held on to it. I got hurt. I could have held on to it. But I didn't want to go there. It takes energy from us. It takes energy. It takes our thoughts. It brings us physically, mentally, and spiritually down. Now, I'm not saying we don't grieve. I mean, we all grieve. There is a grieving. There is a purpose to grieving. I lost a beloved when I was 38 years old, and he was 33. There was time for grieving. We do grieve, but at the same time, my heart had expansiveness of love at the same time. This is a cultivation, a consistent cultivation in this garden of God that is us, that has been given to us, is this beautiful heart center. And it has everything in it that you would say when you're tilling the earth about a garden. It has all those different components, and it's complex, and yet it is also simple, and everything in between. But it is what makes you, me, and all around individually the amazing perfected and perfection of creation that you are. And you make a difference every day and every moment to someone else. You make a difference just by being who you are. So I want to thank you for having me here today. I didn't say that I've known Pam for many, many, many years. My former music partner and I, we played for Pam a couple of times. And Pam, you watching, thank you so much for allowing me to be present here and on this sacred space, this podium, and being able to share some words from Charles and Myrtle, and how we know, because of Charles and Myrtle and what they brought so many years ago that was just revolutionary. I think about the era of time that they brought this out into the world, into the part of the country where they were at, just during that time, is an absolute miracle in and of itself, because it touched hearts and it's continuing to touch hearts. So again, thank you all so much for having me here today. I hope this brought some thought, some fertilization to your own garden of God, and that and lifted your hearts. Again, thank you so much. Namaste.
And if you want more of that, 1 o'clock today, right here, matter of fact. So we have a couple songs, huh? Yeah.
So you have your words, and I invite you to stand as you are able and join us. Your deep, deep love washes over me. Your deep, deep love fills my every need. How I long to hear your voice call out my name. It draws me to your deep, deep love. Your deep, deep love cleanses all my fears. Your deep, deep love brings a peace so dear. How I long to hear your voice call out my name.
You feel that energy here? You wonder why we can feel that? Your deep, deep love. So, I guess this is the time in our service where we receive the offering. And as you take out your offering and hold it in your hands or put it in your heart or think about it, know that it's part of that deep, deep love. The universe that supports us in all that we do, all that we have, who we are. And we bless it each week. I don't want to give it away, but it's coming. We're going to have this blessing, and it's really a blessing about you. The finances are just a vehicle, but this is really about you and me, this blessing. So here we go. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful indeed.
Give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. Give thanks for blessings given, for all love has done. Give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. Give thanks for blessings given, for all love has done. Give thanks. Give thanks. Give thanks.
There's a thorn amongst the roses. I think I'm the thorn. Excuse me. Sweet, sweet Spirit, Mother, Father, God. Deep, deep love created you and I, created all sentient beings, created all physicality, created the cosmos and the universe. These gifts we send forward, that each of us can find that place of deep, deep love. Understand how that is part of a grand creation, a grand web of life, and how important it is that each one of us are part of it right here, right now. You know, it's about vibrating at the same resonance so that we all find the beauty of our existence. And once we find the beauty of our existence, to let that out and share that with each other and the world. For truly, that is what our path is, the path of humanity. It's a rocky road. It's not easy. There's no doubt about it. But when we get it, we can create heaven on earth. And I think we should do that in our lifetime. And so it is. Amen. Amen. Thank you much. Wait, just, we're taking change? Oh, okay. Well, that's a reversal osmosis there. Hey, so just about everything that's going on is on the website, except today. Well, I think that's probably on the website too, but you don't have to go anywhere. You can just be here at 1 o'clock, and we'll have a crystal. You want to talk a little bit about what you're going to experience?
Absolutely, thank you. So at 1 o'clock, I am offering a sound bath I have all the chakras and quartz crystal singing bowls. I've been working with those since 2008, and we'll go through. I had a download from Spirit of working with the different chakra vowel sounds, but using 3 vowel sounds that are really very powerful in being able to bring us into the here and now and getting an idea. It's like, wait a minute, what's going on with me? And getting clarity, and also with our own voices, how to clear it and how to literally tune it. So we're going to do that, and then after that section of the workshop, then it's just going to be, you can lay down on a yoga mat or be seated, and I'm just going to play the bowls and just bathe you in the sound. I'd love to have you there. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. When I was gone, I don't know, a month ago or so, we were down in Arizona. We went to the Spiritual Enrichment Center in Surprise, I think it was, and the minister, Sharon, had a whole array of singing bowls, and as we were, her talk was without words with the singing bowls, and it was an incredible experience, so something to look forward to. Okay, what else we got to do? Oh, so we got that, and then Into the Mystics coming up in June, and we're going to look for some mystics out here to help with the mystics that are putting this thing together, so be aware. I don't know if there's a sign-up sheet yet, but it's coming, so that's going to happen. With that, I think we can create a circle around the perimeter, and we'll sing the peace song. And by the way, if your name is Kaya, or anybody else that has a birthday in the month of May, please see me in the middle. So Kaya, we got another birthday, all right? Well, look at all of us May people, all of you May people, come on in. I'm not a May person, I'm just going to sing to you. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. Turn around.
You are the face of love.
You are the face of God.
You are my family.
I hold you in my heart.
My family.
You
are my family. God, you are the face of God.
Happy birthday. Okay. That was the song you were waiting for.
Yes,
There is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as Creator, united all are we. Yes, we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every breath I take, yes, this is my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.
And we know the light of God
surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us,
The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Oh, you
Have
don't
a
need
great
to-
week, everybody.